Hey Leigh, hope you're feeling a little bit better. This lesson we're going to go through just like we would if you were here, and we're going to practice a few things. So I think I sent you a link to a little fun warm-up for doing lip trills and lip buzzes. Or buzzing is a little bit different, but okay, so you feel kind of that vibration. Okay, but for now, let's start with our little warm-up. So we're gonna stretch. So remember, we're gonna do kind of like stretch up really high, but watch, I know you have your arm shoulder area that you're gonna watch. Okay, so do one for now that will lift your rib cage, and if you can try and just try to stretch a little bit to lift that rib cage and make room for your lungs to expand a little bit more. Come down, and you can do ragdoll, okay, as long as you're not hurting yourself. Kind of just hang out down there, a little rest, okay? Ideally, yes, you want to lift the rib cage, okay, and create lots of space as you expand, okay? So we're gonna start with that, and what we're gonna do is I'm gonna grab our fun little expander here, just to remind you about that expansion that's happening. I always kind of start from the ground up for expansion, but I'm just gonna adjust this a little bit. So I always fill up as low as possible, and then I fill up the rest full of air. Remember that when you're filling up air, you can go through there's all kinds of pockets, the sides, all through your back, you can fill up into your shoulders, all of that area. So you actually want to fill up everywhere. So let's practice. We'll fill up to 4. And let it out. Maintaining your posture, everything stays lifted, and pulling in with your abdominal muscles as well. So everything's pulling in while you're letting the air out, right? Just like a balloon. So now we're gonna fill up again. And exhale. All right, we're doing a fun little practice. This will be an inhale. So we're gonna breathe in only on one. So it's gonna be short fill up. And then we do a tss, 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 tss. So fill up. So each time you can practice a little bit slower, but make sure once again that right? So we should be pulling in with those muscles, and we want to be just kind of like a metronome, like that clock ticking. So we're going to go right? So we should be filling up all up here as well, but remember, we're going to start from down so that we can release, okay? So you can practice that. I would practice that for a good minute. And let's also practice our tongue twisters. I don't think we've done tongue twisters for a while. So we're gonna do, as our tongue twisters, we're going to say unique New York, unique New York, unique New York, unique New York. Of course, it's going to need to be faster than that. And you really want to start moving your mouth and stretching things out. So remember, you can always do a little bit of a massage, right? Bring a little bit of laryngeal massage. Okay, your jaw, same thing. Loosen things up in the shoulder as well. All right, and so let's practice our unique New York, 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 unique New York. And you get the idea, okay? Try to aim for 5 times through. Correct. It should be stretching and moving everything. Okay. Our next thing that we want to practice is another tongue twister. This one is I saw a kitten eating chicken in the kitchen. I saw a kitten eating chicken in the kitchen. I saw a kitten eating chicken in the kitchen. I saw a kitten eating chicken in the kitchen. I saw a kitten eating chicken in the kitchen. Okay, keep going with that one. Have fun with that, okay? The other thing, we're going to stretch out that tongue. Ah, okay? You know how ridiculous that one. We're going to, like, off camera. Ah. Okay, really stretch that. Remember that we're using so many things of our body to actually create sound. So you want to stretch that out. You want to also just check your alignment. Remember that when you start singing, you want to have your feet not together, hip width, all right, shoulder width apart. Okay, knees slightly bent. And you want to have potentially your left foot or your right foot, one foot slightly in front of the other. I find it gives me nice grounding for pulling in notes and for projecting, right, sound. So just some of those tidbits. Remember, you should always be drinking your water as usual. You should be resting your voice, really. I shouldn't be talking like this. I should just be in like a talking whispering voice. Okay, anything to protect your voice. Okay, laughing, not good, but I laugh a lot, so that's kind of hard to do. So remember, we also want to work on our shape. So another practice with our vowels, A, E. See how different? There's just some slight modifications inside your mouth with your tongue that can change the sound coming out. So do you want to breathe in? E. Too much, right? E. Hear how that's going through the nose? E. Right? Too much. Nasal. E. Find the sound, right? Find that sound that's going to be most pleasing. We don't want to E. Okay? So watch the shape of your mouth. E, A, O, U. Remember to create hollowness inside and keep it light right now. Don't put too much pressure as you're warming up. E, A, O, U. If you can get 2 fingers, remember that is kind of the rule. E, 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 A, O, U. Practice that shape, okay? And always remember you have that mirror so you can see what's going on. You can also use your hands to feel in the jaw. E, A, O, U. You shouldn't feel a lot of movement with the jaw. Oh. Where that connector is, you should be able to feel that and know that your jaw is dropped. E, E, A, O, U. Remember, big breaths. So see, some of those sounds, vowel sounds, are getting lost a little bit. enunciate even more sometimes when you get higher or lower. That's tricky with up high. Remember, when we're high, the higher we sing, we want to go more to an ah sound because we can drop that jaw a little bit more. Right? So we have more room. With an O, it's a little more difficult. Right? It's more open. You have okay? So tongue, everything. Remember that we want to use the resonators. Okay, so let's start using your teeth, all of that. Like biting into that apple. Okay, so or yawning. That openness inside is what we're going for. Okay. And she knows my eyebrows always raised. You'll see most singers, their eyebrows are raised. It seems to work. You seem to have more of an openness. Versus but let's do some lip buzzes. Lip buzz. Ready? Okay, so if you're having, you should have some itchiness in there with the buzzing. Okay, watch your jaw. And okay, if you have tricky, we're lifting. Okay, so and remember that while you're doing this buzzing, you should be itchy because things are moving, right? We're using the resonators, right? Our nasal cavity, all of these things, right? Suddenly we start resonating when we're singing. Okay, so practice all the way up. Remember that it is about the breath control and how much air we're releasing. We want to release it evenly. Right? So sometimes it just stops. The air needs to be, we need to be full. And then the other tricky part is getting your tone. But it is also loosening everything up to move when we're actually projecting and singing our other songs. So see how I'm filling up? Okay. Those are a few little good warm-ups. We have done our tongue stretch. We've moved on E, A, ah. So we can also just practice E, ah, E, ah, E. See how I didn't actually move my jaw that last time with the E? Okay. E, ah. It moved a little bit coming back. Okay, so I want you to actually practice having your hand right at that jawline so you know that you're actually already dropped. Okay? See how we're dropping? Okay, so we want to drop that E. Okay, see what's happening with the tongue, right? We have lots of movement there as well. So keep an eye on that. Always use that mirror to kind of check in. let's practice our just a humming. Okay, so this is our chromatic scale. This is really good practice for pitch. And once again, that buzzing. Each time, of course, we're practicing our fill up really quickly, but full. Back to the hum or buzz. But choose. Like I was in between. Good. Is there itchiness? Because there is with mine. Okay, that's good. Okay, things are getting ready to actually start singing. Okay, so we want to practice a little bit some of our higher notes. So let's go on. So ooh to ah. Good. So I have a feeling that we should work a little bit on those high notes. So what we're going to do is we're going to practice and hold those high notes, okay, until they're just the way we want them. So let's just do. Okay, it can be light at first, that's okay, but we don't want to keep being light eventually. We want to project a little bit or fill up. And I noticed I was tight in my neck. So you want to check in with different areas, your shoulders, your jaw, your neck, right? So you want things to be loose and relaxed and supported. Keep bending those knees. Keep your feet hip width apart. Don't be afraid to resonate up there. Remember that kind of butterfly fluttering, that kind of looseness going up and down, up top. Little bit of a disconnect. Now, just because we're singing up like this, doesn't mean we need to always be like that. I know you like a lot of pop music to sing, right? We don't have to sing that. But when we do sing like that, we know that we can actually open up and support the note. So sometimes those notes, they're high, right? We can popify them a little bit, but we still need to support them. So this is good practice for that. I'm still getting warmed up, but I'm using a little bit more of my teeth. And I'm loosening up a little bit more, but I'm stretching this way, not this way to reach the high notes. This way. And I'm using more air, so I'm actually pulling in. You know that was the cats. It's like you're here with me right now, and they're just up to mischief. Okay, so I will check that in a bit. We're talking about high notes. Okay, so okay, so we have our lip buzzes. This is a lot of warm up and a lot of exercises that you can actually spend lots of time doing. I would also love for you to choose a note and just do kind of go up the scale with that as well to kind of review that. You can also work on your dynamic levels. And then taper off. So you're gonna get louder. Sometimes when you get high up, you gotta really practice tapering in the notes and then supporting when you come out. So you need lots of air. Let's go through a couple of your songs. So we just have a quick little review of what I'd love for you to work on. So today I wanted you to work a little bit on weight. So Sarah McLachlan. just watch some of the sustaining and really dig in deep with those lower notes. Okay, so under a blackened sky, and you can bring more pop into it, but I would exaggerate a little bit at the beginning to make sure that you're under a blackened sky, right? So then you can kind of under a blackened sky. Okay, so you can hold that note longer with your air support, and once you kind of like over exaggerate a little bit, then you can pull back. So under a blackened sky. You can also bring out some of the text. So blackened sky, blah, blah, right? Bring that out. So under a blackened sky, and hold it, and then far beyond the glaring street lights, and then you can bring a little bit of that pop into it. So far beyond the glaring street lights. Remember to sing on the vowels as much as possible. So street, see how I'm singing on that? Street lights. And then I'm kind of moving it a little bit quicker. So you have far beyond the glaring street lights. And then sleeping on empty dreams. Don't do that. So dreams, it doesn't sound as good as like a singing on the vowels more. So sleeping on empty dreams. So hear that vowel sound. Try and work on that. So sleeping on empty dreams. And then you can close off of the right? So always close your sentences. The vultures lie in wait. Give it a T at the end. And then lay down, be there. You were with me. So you were with me every waking hour. So hour's tricky. We've had that kind of hour sound before. Okay, that O-U-R. And it's not easy to navigate that sound. Sometimes we just try and be quiet, but that doesn't always work. So every waking hour. So try and do an hour, kind of that type of a very loose hour. Sing on the vowels. Remember, in between, we just kind of just want to nick it. Hour. So you're not really hearing the R. Hour, right? Hour. Okay, and then so if you're singing waking hour, so close I could feel your breath. Right, so breath, 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 breath. Okay, so dig a little bit deeper. I might even tilt my chin a little bit. Breath, breath, but keep it light to bring that out. And then and all we wanted was the dream. Something like that. Okay, when all we wanted was the dream. So don't hang out on your S for too long. When all we wanted was the dream. So remember singing your vowel. Was the dream. Almost elide the dream, so that it's not very long. So when all we wanted was the dream, to have and to hold that precious little thing, like every generation yields. So yields, it's not too bad. Yields. It's not like our hour, right? So that's not as tricky. The newborn hope, unjaded, jaded. So, newborn hope, unjaded by the years. Years? You're gonna watch that one. Just say it. Years, right? It's awkward sounding. And it's like a lot of, I feel like we're from somewhere else. So, and we're just being England, right? With our British sounding vowels and texts, which we can bring in some pop, but ideally think British. We have these proper sounds coming out. So, years. Okay, years. Hear how light? Hardly anything is coming out. Years. Nothing's really moving. Years. Okay, so I want you to practice that by the years. Right, so that should take you quite a ways into that piece. I think that might be a good amount to work on for this week. Okay, hopefully your migraine is getting better, or you're feeling better, and you have some time to go through this lesson, do a little practice. Remember to continue to drink your water while you're practicing and working on the song. It's totally fine if you have the YouTube or have a version of this without a voice in it. If you don't, I can record it, but I want you to develop that confidence of your own singing and voice. Okay, so take care. We'll see you soon. Bye.